This is my Sherpa. I am Carlos Lavado, host and one of the creators of this consciousness movement, and in this right moment, a publishing house as well. Our guest today is the director of the publishing house in the United States. Give me a minute, please, because I have the double voice. Sorry. Our guest today is the director of the publishing house in the United States. She is a light warrior committed to spreading love and positivity by sharing her knowledge and experience. She does this through her YouTube channel, translating high vibrational books, and promoting healing through Reiki and offering channeling service. Maria Eleonora, welcome to Mind Sherpa.
Thank you so much for this invitation. It's an honor to be here and to be part of this movement.
Before we started, let me say sorry about this delay because it was my fault. I'm not used to this technology. Sorry about that. I always get confused about YouTube, about all the technology. It's not my. I'm not used to about that.
I have a say that everything happened in divine time.
Right.
In the divine time right now.
Apart of that, I would like to express my gratitude to, because you are leading the group of the translating group. So thank you so much, because that is very important group of all the people who are translating the Jesus and Ananda book to many different languages. And now you are the person who are in the front of that group. So thank you so much about that. I would like to express my public gratitude about that.
It's really a pleasure, and it's amazing really to connect to all those like-minded people. Just take a picture of many people around the world. Right now we are 7, and we had the same idea to do the same thing at the same time.
Right.
Translating this book to our native language. We are not professional translators. I don't think that was even in our to-do list, in our dreams to do it. But we pick up in the same energy that was broadcast throughout the globe, that this book was written to help in this moment of ascension of the planet, to help us to let it go of outdated beliefs, of the invisible chains that keep us always believing and recreating things that is not for our best interest.
You're right.
So this is the Freedom Book.
The Freedom Book, you're completely right. And you are showing this book here.
Yes.
So let me say that this book, Jesus, my Autobiography, is now in German, right? Is now in French as well, I think.
Yes,
in French, in Chinese,
in Italy,
in Italian as well. Okay.
Yes,
in Spanish, of course, and soon in Portuguese.
And
that's
also
really, really
in Greek.
important.
Yeah, Portuguese is coming, and also in Greece.
Uh-huh. So,
and in Norway is on the way.
It's on the way. So, but let me ask the next question. So, who is Maria Eleonora? For the people who have no idea who are you, how can you describe to yourself?
Well, I would say that I'm conscious, but I'm a focus point conscious here, embodied as Eleonora. And I'm kind of complex. I always like to do things different of everybody else. And I was born in Brazil in a countryside that was like 10, 15 houses when I was born. But he always have that desire to learn things, to go places. And that's what I did. I moved many times in my life, and only in Brazil I moved into 3 states. And for last, I moved to US. And it was always learning more, expanding my consciousness. And of course, I also had a Catholic background because Brazil is a Catholic country.
Like other South American countries as well. Yeah.
Yes, but that's because we were colonized by Portugal, and Portugal, the Catholicism in Portugal is very strong.
Are you still Catholic, Eleonora? Are you still in that religion?
Oh, no. Actually, I never really buy into.
Okay.
I never really buy into. I always believe in Jesus, that Jesus was real, but all the rest, that God and the cloud manipulating everything
All the
here.
ceremony, right?
Yes, to my intriguing mind, that never really fits.
Okay.
But I always been I would go like water. I would not upset people asking questions that I knew they didn't have the answer.
Okay.
And only when I was 25, I started to looking for the answers myself. And I found that with Spiritism, Cardices, that's based on channeled books. And channeling in Brazil is very strong. So there was some famous figure that one was Chico Xavier. He lived 92 years old. He wrote more than 400
I heard about him.
channeled books. Yes, it's amazing books. And when I started, I just couldn't stop. I would sleep like 4 in the morning because, I have to sleep and then put the book down. I would read a book in 2 days.
Oh.
And when I came to US, it was like, I say, there is more to know. And I got in contact with many other things, Tina Louise Spalding, but I think you have questions for that later.
No. I mean, I'm really, because we were started talking pretty much a year ago. So I know your profile as a translator, pretty much as a translator, but I don't know your background. So that's really interesting for me, like, part of your life. So how long are you in America? How long are you living there?
15.
15 years.
Yeah.
So your spiritual awakening or your spiritual interest start in America or really in Brazil?
I would say start in Brazil, but the spirituality over there is called Cardicism. It's based on 3 books written by a French medium. And it's really amazing. It's really expand your consciousness a lot, but I saw there was some limitation because they channel people from the astral cities, the between lives, but they'd have contact with some other beings like ETs, the ascended masters, and even others that doesn't need to incarnate on Earth, but they would not say what they were. And I said, so there is something else to know. So when I came to US, I was looking for that something else. That's when I learned about Dolores Cannon, and I read all her books.
She's
and
amazing.
Each book that I would read, and I would find another part of myself. I would connect to other part of myself. And it's the last, I would say, 6 years has been like a wild ride, and things really changed with the pandemic. I think that happened to everybody. I don't think there was any life that wasn't touched by that. And I always been very soft-spoken. I always like to guide people. If I see somebody sad, I can't just ignore. I would go there. So I always been kind of a mentor to my family and friends, or even strange if I would meet. And when the pandemic hits, there was like long faces everywhere. People were so sad and afraid and in panic, and I was calm. So that's okay.
Yeah, I understand that.
I was so calm, and I see the word panic, and why I'm so calm, and everybody else is not. Almost everybody else is not. I understood it was the knowledge they had.
Of course, you have a very strong and solid background to face that moment. I know.
Yes, and then there was a voice in my head. okay, share what you know with people. I started literally writing a little notes. Tina Louise Spalding, Dolores Cannon, A Course in Miracles, and also Abraham Hicks.
But at that moment, you already met something about Tina Spalding or not yet?
Oh, I already had met Tina online on her videos.
Okay.
That was an interesting story. Let me just finish this one and then I tell how I met Tina.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah.
That's okay. And then I would go, like, if I was in a line, Starbucks, whatever I was, and I would start engaging with people, I would say, look at those materials. This has such interesting information. There is a lot of video on YouTube. Look in YouTube, look for the books. That information is keep me away from fear. It may help you too. And I started to doing that, and I always leave for the waiters and the restaurants. So wherever I would go, I would give those notes.
Okay.
And then when the pandemic hits later on, I started to have a voice. Okay, create a YouTube channel. No way, I don't want to be famous, and I'm still learning, and I don't have time. No.
Were you afraid to face it, the camera and this stuff?
Oh, no. I never been afraid of that. I just didn't want it to be famous because I knew the fame wasn't a good thing.
Okay.
At least the way it is, people doesn't really have a private life. They live off appearance. They're not really who they really are. And I just thought it wasn't for me. That was the main reason, not because I was afraid. It's no, I can't do it. I'm still learning. I'm not ready for that. And then God started sending me people that I would speak to them, share what I knew. And I could see in people's face after 10, 15 minutes, I could see that their facial expression was changing.
Okay.
In that short time. And then I realized, okay, maybe I already have something to share, but I still don't have time. That's when it's happened, November 2021. The company I was working from home 100% of the time, they said, or you take this or we have to fire you. And
what do you say? Bye-bye.
Threat never worked with me.
Yeah, okay.
Because even my parents never forced us to do what we didn't want to do it. So I don't know if somebody come with a gun one day and say, do this or I kill, they probably were going to kill me. Because my immediate response is no. I'm not doing just because you are threatening me.
So you're forcing me.
Let me go. The next day, I created a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I started sharing.
Uh-huh.
So how I met Tina Louise Spalding.
In which year was that, Eleonora? In which year did you met her?
Oh, I didn't meet in person initially. I think it was 2018 or 17. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
And the reason why I remember, I know I started the A Course in Miracles in 2018.
Oh.
And I learned from her. I was just browsing YouTube and, somebody's channeling Mother Mary. Somebody's channeling Saint Germain. Oh, there is another one here channeling Archangel Michael and so on. And I just thought, how come no one is channeling Jesus? Why? I knew was the possibilities. Why Jesus doesn't come to no one to share us straight away and help us? When you have the question, your guides give you the answers. And then I started seeing one after the other. Lots of people on YouTube say that I channel Jesus. And I saw one, I thought she was okay, but it didn't really connect with her. And then I saw Tina. When I saw Tina the first time, it's wow, yes. I could feel the energy of Jesus that I always felt throughout my life and throughout the studies of Spiritism in Brazil. I said, that's really him. And you see, Jesus' personality and Tina's personality is very different. You can really tell that the knowledge, when Jesus speaks to her, there is no way that can be her. So, I say that in a good way because I love her, and the best part that what I must love of her is she's so open and she's so human, and she faced many challenges that most of us face and can identify, and she overcome them, and that's the most thing that I love about her.
Yeah, I'm agree with you because I agree with you because these years I met Tina Spalding. The thing I love her is she's normal. It's just normal. She's not pretending to be special. She's not pretending to be touched by Jesus. You know what I mean? It's like I'm different because teacher is talking through me. She's not pretending to be that. It's just a normal woman. So that is the thing is for me it's real. Because she's not pretending to be nothing special. It's just even she talked about her problems, no, the challenges that all the things that she faced years ago. So it's a normal woman. So that is, I think, the most important thing in my opinion.
Yes. Yes, and then that's how I started the first phase of that connection with Jesus. And when she was always talking about A Course in Miracles, it's like when you do the Course in Miracles, you just can't not talk about. That happened to everybody that I know that does the Course in Miracles. So I said, let me see that book. So I got the book, and they really tried to do, I think, 2 times. And then in 2018, in the end, I was about 26 lessons, and I started to redo for the first lesson, go back to the first lesson, January 1st, because I wanted to really do it. This time I want to take serious. And what happened? When I woke up, that I got on my phone, I look at YouTube, who was there? Tina was doing the lessons online with Jesus' commentary in the end. And Carlos, that was the best gift I had received in years. I said, okay, with Jesus, I'm going to do every day. If I would go on a trip or if I had something, I'd take pictures of the book or take the book, but I would plan ahead. I didn't miss a day. And I graduated for the first time, because we do many times, in December 31st.
December 31st, okay.
In 2019.
Okay. When do you feel that inspiration to say, why not to start to translating this book into Portuguese? How was this process? How, was a feeling and knowing? Sometimes you know something, you don't know how, but just know.
Yeah, that's how I started. First, I start with, I heard that you're supposed to read in order. So I read Making Love to Gods, Great Minds Speaks to You. I read as fast as I could because I wanted to get to this book. This is my autobiography. When I got to this book, I was so impressed with the other 2 also. And this one is, okay, this book needs to be available for my family. I want my mom to read. I want my friends to read. I want everybody to read it. It needs to be translated to Portuguese. And I literally started researching publishers in Brazil. to see if they get interest. I got all the books, there was six at that moment. I got all the books because a famous meeting in Brazil was here in LA, and his name is Divaldo Franco. But he was already, he's almost 90, and I know he's in contact with the spiritual publisher in Brazil that publish almost all spiritual books. They need to translate. They are going to translate that. So I went to see him with all the books and just take the books and give it to them and let them do whatever they want. Oh, I can't because I stop in another country. You see, I'm old. I can't carry all that thing. So I realized that actually I was being inspired to get the books for myself.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first hint. But I started to pursue the publishers in Brazil. I get an answer, and then they said, unfortunately, you are too busy translating our spiritual book to other languages, so you can't take this project. It's okay. And I was so disappointed, and I went in Tina's community, and I told her that's when I get in contact with Stefan from Greek for the first time. He said, I'm also translating, but I couldn't find the publisher yet. And so we are in the same boat so far. And I have one-to-one with Tina, and then she said, I told her about the books that I wanted to be translated to Portuguese. And that's what she said. Maybe that will be part of your life's purpose. And I just thought, no, I'm not a translator. I'm not a translator, and that's not going to happen. In 2021, I started the YouTube channel in November 9th, and about November 25th, 2025, I started that strong guidance to do the Course of Miracles in Portuguese, and then read the commentary of Jesus from the book in Portuguese. And the thought didn't come out in my mind, so I knew when that happened, I know it's guidance, so it's okay, I'm going to do it. So I prepared everything, and I just started translating the book without any pretense. It was just to share with the people in Brazil in the channel. And I sent a message to Tina asking her permission to do, and she granted the permission, and that's how it started. In the end of the year, I had the whole book translated. And no publisher. And then I tried again, nobody showed up, and then I just put it aside as, okay, Jesus, you put me into that, and then I know you have a plan. And the plan came with you in 2024. Just last year, February, I met Tina in person for the first time, and she told me about you. Talk to Carlos. He was in the same situation as you. He's translated to Spanish. Talk to him. Maybe that will be something you guys can work together. And that was one of the happiest days of my life when I met you for the first time.
Yeah, well, I think it's it's a very long and interesting story. But yeah, when you spoke with me the first time, I knew my blueprint was Spanish and Portuguese connected with about these two books, at least with two books. I think it's more than those books, but I knew. So I just was waiting how, because I don't speak Portuguese, even worse, I don't write in Portuguese. So how am I going to translate that books in Portuguese? But many years ago, I felt that that emotion, that I felt that knowing that at some point in the future, I don't know how, but yeah, I'm going to be connected with the Portuguese.
I was the how.
You was the how, exactly. You was the answer. So thank you so much about that. Yeah, sometimes I'm impressed how the master or Ananda.
Yes.
How
and another interesting thing that happened is in 2023, I was inspired to do the same thing in Spanish. And I was already doing my YouTube channel in 3 languages because I also speak Spanish. But Spanish is my 3rd language. And I was just, why you want me to translate it to Spanish? Because the Spanish version needs to be translated for somebody that is native in Spanish. And then no matter, just do it. Okay, I will do it, because when you get a guidance, you don't need to know everything up front. There is a reason for that. And I understood that the reason was for me to get more confident with Spanish, because the work I do with you is like 90% Spanish.
Well, yeah, because I speak Spanish.
Yes,
Exactly.
and with the publisher. So I think that was one of the reasons. And of course, there was people that engaged and connected. One thing that I heard is, you'll probably feel guided to create a YouTube channel. Maybe one of you guys that listen, you are inspired to create a YouTube channel about a subject, and then you think, there is a lot of people out there doing exactly like that. They don't need me. You just wanted to get get away from your assignment. But actually, there is many people doing the same thing, but there will be people that will not listen to any of those others, but they will listen to you, because the vibration you met.
Yeah,
There
it's
is
a
a lot
vibrational
of,
matter.
yeah, the vibration met. So I know clearly when I'm guided and when it's just my ego. And I go with my guidance, especially when it's for, say, okay, do something for somebody. I know it's not only my guides, but their guides too. And sometimes you just think like the ego likes to go on the way in everything. There is a guy that wrote a book that is like, he knows about so many things. And I got the idea, give him a Course in Miracles. And my second thought was, he doesn't need it. He already knows so much. He doesn't need a Course in Miracles. And then I thought to myself, that second voice wasn't Jesus, that was my ego. Who are you going to listen to? What you do with the book is not my business. So I gave him the book.
I think the difference between when I say we, is because we are translating this book, and the other guys, the Grass and from German, and all the other guy. I think that we know how the voice of the ego and the voice of the inner wisdom sounds. So I am in the same position where I heard my ego sometimes, so it's so loud. It's like, go or don't go. I say, no, that is not. It's my ego there. But yeah, I think that is the big difference, or the biggest step, the ego voice, when you start to recognize the ego voice.
Yeah, and A Course in Miracles and those books, Tina's books, that I think is like all connected to A Course in Miracles, it's really give you a clear guidance. And with time, you get smarter on how to recognize. But straightforward, it's like that. When you have a thought in your mind that's associated with an emotion, that's low vibration emotion of fear, anger, resentment, guilt, shame, they don't come from your guides, they don't come from Jesus, they come from your ego.
Yeah, right.
If the thought comes with a vibration that will make you feel excited, happy, with courage to do things, and then you know that's guidance. But that's a fine trick. Because sometimes your guides will tell you to step out of your comfort zone, and immediately after you have that thought, immediately you think it's the same thought. Your ego is saying, screaming, no, 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 no. And then you feel so bad. And then you think that you feel bad because the first thought. But actually it was the second one.
Exactly.
So
But the fake one.
That's the trick in really recognize, because if you just, okay, if I'm feeling good, I go. If I don't feel good, I don't go. But sometimes you feel bad, but there was the ego hijacked the thought, and you misinterpret as the guidance, but actually are feeling bad. It's not because your ego say, go in front of somebody, go in front of the class and speak up. What are you thinking? And then you feel bad. You didn't feel bad because your guide is telling you to do that. You feel bad because the second thought, what are they going to think of me? What if I don't know what to do? What if I start? What if I mumble, whatever? They will make up many stories.
Yeah. Do you have any expectation about the books? Have you translated into Portuguese? I mean, I know in this moment it's not already on the market, but you have any expectation about that, or you are just, I don't know, just...
My expectation is very selfish and direct. I want my mom to read. She read, I'm gonna be happy already. But I know that many people are gonna read, and there is people waiting for, especially a year of forgiveness. There's people waiting for the book. But straight away, I want my mom to read. All the rest is profit.
Profit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, let me say that if everything goes right, May, the month of May or June, that book has to be on the market in Portuguese, the year of forgiveness. So
yes,
we be very positive in that way. Yeah. Let me ask you the next question about Reiki, because you're a Reiki master. Is that right? I mean, you have some knowledge in Reiki. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. How Reiki started for me. I realized, looking back in my life, I realized that I always have some sort of ability, but I never explored and I didn't pay attention to. I remember that there was one time which was like in a retreat, and my mom was in the retreat. I went to visit her there, and there was a young boy. It's like he is maybe 17s. He was crying with back pain. And everybody on the room, nobody knew what to do. And I just felt, okay, let me massage his back. And after 10, 15 minutes, he said, it's gone. And he even could get up and everybody's, wow. But I don't know, I just thought, no, it's nothing. I didn't pay attention to.
When you say gone, was temporary or just gone forever?
Gone for, at least that day, I don't see him afterwards. So
okay.
I can't tell afterwards, but for that day, it was gone.
Gone, okay.
And I had a neighbor that had like a surgery in her arm, and she was complaining that it was painful and the pain medicine wasn't really even work. So I did her a gentle massage and said, it's gone. It's cool. Mm-hmm. So, but that's really happened. When I heard Reiki for the first time, I got interest. I want to do it, but I was so busy doing other things that I didn't pay attention to. I really decided to do when I went to Brazil, and one of my aunties had cancer, and she was like, she helped take care of me and my brothers, my sister. When I was born, she went to live with my mom. My mom had 9 kids. So she went to live with my mom. So she was like my dear sister, my dear auntie. and she was dying with cancer, and a very painful one. And I just had that desire to help her, and I knew I could do through Reiki, even a distance. So when I came back to US, I decided to do it. And I chose someone to do it, but it didn't work out. And then I was talking to a friend from Brazil and said, I'm a Reiki master. I can do it for you. And our guides already had a kind of, she had a dream later on. I'm not going to fight on that, but she already knew that she'd be in my spiritual evolution. She'd be help me with that. So it's now that makes sense. Yeah, I suppose to teach you Reiki. So we did it, and after I did the level 1, my auntie got to feel really, really bad, and said, "Oh my God, I need the level 2 to send Reiki to her." And then 2 weeks later, she initiated me in the level 3. And the thing is, I already had all the knowledge. And I already been feeling energy in my hands, especially after I started meditating. I put in my hands this way, I can feel the energy right now. So the energy was already with me, and the knowledge too. So actually, I just need to be initiated. So she initiated me, and I get to the level 3 also that I can do for groups.
Okay.
But she decided to the master, I want to do in person. So we are planning to do that this year. I'm not the master. The master is to teach other people.
Okay.
Yeah. The level 2, you can do a distance. The level 3, you can do for groups. And you have 3A and 3B, that's the master you can teach. So I know I'm going to be teaching, and I do Reiki in a different way. And they also a channel. So I channel the higher self of people.
And how is the process of that channeling, Eleonora? How is the process? Or how you do that? I mean,
my channel is starting with Tina Spalding again. She said, let's practice automatic writing. And it's okay. And I never saw myself as a psychic. I thought that would not really be for me. And even though I'm very intuitive, I'm into spirituality and I believe in certain things, I used to be a computer programmer. I have a very logical mind too. So it's like the left side and the right side of my brain, they are very competing to each other. So I have the both sides. For me, things needs to make sense. But doesn't need to make sense in the 3D world, like with the 5 cents. At least I passed that. So I was doing and say, okay, let's see if we can do it. About like 8-10 minutes, my hands started moving. I said, oh, someone is here. And then each one there, like for 3 days. Later on, he started telling it was a cousin that had passed like less than 2 months before. And he wrote a message to his family. And the interesting part was, now I need to deliver the message because that's me and I cannot just hide it. I need to deliver the message. And it was amazing because his mom, she is Christian. And she doesn't even believe in those kinds of things. But I know she believed on the ladder, and the ladder brought her peace. I don't think she told in the church that she received a ladder from her son. But I did my part with that, and then I said, okay, who's going to come next? And then I start writing, come to know your guide.
Your high self, maybe?
That's what it came. Come to know your guide. And then it say, dear child, come to know your guide. Who is that? And then he made me do bubble letters. I don't know if you know what bubble letter is. For example, you have an O and then like two balls, kind of bubble.
Okay.
I understood that the reason why he did that was so I knew wasn't me doing. Because of my logical mind, I could think, that's
Not that.
coming from my mind. There's nothing happened here. So he made me write bubble letters.
Okay.
Later on, I figured it out. Actually, he is another version of myself from the Pleiades.
Oh,
So
that's
he
quite
is
interesting.
that was the first guy that come to me as a Pleiade. Now I'm in contact with many, many others, so it's kind of going to the extraterrestrial thing. Yes. So, and then I continued developing the automatic writing. I realized that it could automatic writing any entity that already passed. So I did it with my grandma and my brother. And it's not that I just say, oh, okay, let's see who. No, it's like a thought that come in my mind. For example, I dream with my brother 3 times in a week before I decide to channel him. And then I was, I think he wants to talk to me. So that's when I channel him for the first time. And then
Quite awesome.
after I did the QHHT sessions, like hypnosis sessions, another thing that you should be aware is the first thought that comes in your mind when you woke up. Your mind is 0 miles at a time. So the first thought that comes to your mind is one that say, okay, I want her to pay attention to that. So I woke up next day and I just, my thoughts was, receive a message from your higher self. And oh, can I do that? Let's let me try. And then my higher self came. And then I started developing to get from the higher self of other people. Mm-hmm. And then a friend's dog passed away. And then I said, let me see if I can channel your dog.
Okay.
So I channeled her dog. And she had another dog that was alive. So, okay, let me see if you can channel the consciousness of your live dog. And then I have a dog, so I channel my dog. So actually, I can channel any consciousness out of space and time.
It's quite interesting. Yes, amazing.
And I used to do like, okay, today I want to receive any message of love and light. I want to connect to any being of love and light that has a message for me that will best help me at this moment. And then many show up. One that was very surprised was Ananda. Ananda is the Jesus aspect of the series.
Okay.
And he came to me and he told me that I have a version on the series. And I said, okay. And then I started asking him questions. Who it was? Why you don't talk direct to him? So then I become in contact with another version of myself from the series. Mm-hmm. His name is Harnack. Maybe we're going too much.
Say again. Harnack?
Yes, Harnack.
Harnack.
I don't know if that's how I pronounce. And then I have many others, and sometimes I dream with them. I never really see them exactly how they are. Mm-hmm. But after maybe like 2 weeks that I was channeling the first one from the Pleiades, I went to bed, and you know when you feel like the bed going down? Like if somebody put a knee, but it was somebody really heavy. And I felt. And then I started feeling like an energy that sounds like a magnetic field. And I covered my head and I thought, but then I felt the energy going away. And I thought, oh no, it's him. And then I uncovered my head, I opened my eyes, tried to see, but I couldn't see him. And I just mentally said, stay, I'm not afraid, we can stay. So he came closer, and that was very loving, that was so real. He really came to visit me, but I couldn't see.
If somebody asks you a specific question, to you guys or any guys up there, do you get any answer about that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
All the time that I call for somebody, they always come.
Okay. So I think in the following month and years, maybe that's gonna increase that connection, right?
Yes.
That's quite good.
And then I already saw many of them. For example, I'm in contact with my version from the lighter system. The first humanoid race that came to the Milky Way galaxy, they're kind of felines. So sometimes I have visions, they are short, and so far they are more like related to myself as personal. I saw myself like a profile, my face, and all the way to here, the waist. And I started morphing into a feline. And then that's when I said, oh, okay. That's when I realized that my version from the lighter wanted to talk to me. Her name is Gabi. I don't know if they really their name or they just make up a name for me. And she said that she's here with me to help sustain my energy.
Okay. So that's really awesome. So,
yeah. And you just need to be like connected, pay attention to your thoughts. Another day I was thinking, how about lighter? Because I already in Lemuria. I knew that I had life in Lemuria and 2 in the play in Atlantis. And I was thinking about my version from Lemuria. And I think she wanted to talk. So I channeled her. And she told me that I was a healer over there, of course. Okay. I could harness the energy straight away, but I also use crystals. And she connected to me right now to do the Reiki. It's like just to remember.
Just to remember, yeah, of course. I understand that. Eleonora, the time just fly. You know that it just disappear. It's just gone. 2 questions before we wrap up. One is, do you have any personal dream? You have any personal one, not about your job or what, just personal dream? Do you have any personal dream? Can you share with us?
It's interesting because I always think that I'm living my dream every day. The only, for example, going back in my life, I knew that I want to get married and have a family. So when I met my husband, that we got married, I was going back to Brazil. He asked me at the airport, all that romantic thing. And then it's like before I was feeling that I was always running to something. I was just trying to reach something that I wasn't really putting my hand on. And when I met him and we got married, it's like time stopped and I could just be. I have aspirations and I have so many ideas that I wanted to implement, that I wanted to help people, that I want to connect my people. I'm very grateful to be part of that movement, to rise the vibration of the planet. And I just listen to my guides. Okay, what are you supposed to do today? Actually, I have a mental prayer that I do every time when I woke up is, today I give all my thoughts to the Holy Spirit and I will act act as guided for my highest good, the highest good of my family, the highest good of the Earth's evolution, and the multiverse. I put in that order.
So you englobe everything.
Yes. And then I just go it. I plan sometimes to go, okay, let me do this. And then when I see I'm doing something completely different, and I know, and it goes fast and everything's just work perfectly, so that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's it. That's it. Thank you very much for sharing that. In the final words, do you have any final word for the people who is listening in this moment, that's going to listen in the future when it's a YouTube channel in the publishing house? Is there any final words?
Yes. You are not alone. You've never been. For each one of us that's here, there is like a legion, a big group of light beings, just to keep one of us alive and interact. So they are with you all the time. They have your best interest of heart. But you can only listen to them if you are in a loving vibration, or at least in the present moment. That's the thing about humans. We are so powerful that to rise our vibration, we just need to be. You just need to stop thinking and automatically are connected to love. That's why meditation is so powerful. You just be in meditation. Oh, I can't stay without, with my own legs crossed without thinking nothing. I can't do that. You don't have to. Meditation is about being in the present moment. When you are just observing the sunset, you are in the present moment. When you are playing with a child, you are in the present moment. When you are dancing like nobody cares, you are in the present moment. When you are doing something that you are passionate about, you are in the present moment. And that's where your mind can meet the vibration, the information that come from your guides. You are protected all the time. And more that you know and believe it, happier you will be. So just bring your mind to the present moment and feel the love that emanates from you and through you all the time.
Thank you very much, Eleonora. And guys, remember, bring your mind to the present moment. Just don't forget that. So it's a pleasure to have you here, Eleonora. I think in the future we can repeat this chat, because it's not really an interview. It's like a chatting between two friends. So I think in the future we can repeat, because there are many gaps to fulfill in this part of your development, the personal development. So
it was a quick summary.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe if we can do it again, continue talking. I think it's really, really important. Not just for the publishing house, it's just for the people who are listening in this moment. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all the work you are doing, not just in the publishing house, as well in your personal community and the wisdom you are spreading to this world. So thank you so much about that. Maybe we gathering again in the future.
Yes, it'll be a pleasure.
The pleasure will be mine. Thank you so much, Eleonora. So see you the next time. I
appreciate your work, Carlos. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone that's watching.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Well, we are going to leave all the information about Eleonora links, social not all the information about her links on the box below. So just follow her because really good information in his social channel. Thank you so much, Eleonora.
You're welcome. God bless everyone.
Thank you.